I don't think Clint's been on one of the Tractor Time with Tim videos yet.
No?
Clint's a new employee, new helper for Tom and Randall. Just started this week. We put him to work on shiny new Kubota excavator, first thing here. But you've got a lot of excavator experience, right?
Yeah, about 22 years, I think.
22 years?
Yeah.
All I know is he likes throwing stuff at me.
Tom, Randall, you guys are going to have to get him a real excavator.
We've been told that.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys could give us a like and leave a comment, we'd appreciate it.
So far, it's doing a good job. It's nimble. It's small enough you can get in between trees really well. It just doesn't cut off real clean to the ground. You know, it doesn't do a job like what your machine's doing.
But it's not really meant for that. I think it's meant, you know, kind of for what you're doing with that low brush there, the heavy mowing, I think.
Right.
And then you can reach up and you can get the branches really nicely, it seems like.
Right. That gets it out of my way so I'm not scratching the cap off, you know.
That's really helping us to get in under too.
We've kind of found that we can work in this old river channel, and we're surprised that it's so dry. But we're not even making ruts in here, and that's kind of why we're worried about doing this now, right now, versus any other time. In the, I don't know, 30 years that my family's farmed this property, I don't think we've ever seen this dry like this. So we're trying to get in here and with the equipment we've got, get this kind of, the little stuff cleared out of the way so that when the logger comes in here, he can actually get to the logs a lot easier, get to the trees a lot easier, and then we can get those bigger things out. There's just a lot of it we can't do. We just don't have the right equipment. But some of it we can actually do as good or better than what the logger guys won't be able to do. So that's what we're trying to focus on.
You're just going around in circles.
Well, these two trees right here are the first trees of probably 200 yards that we've actually seen right in the bottom of the river channel here. Other than that, it's just been buckbrush. Now, some of it's like 3 and 4 inches in diameter, but it's been pretty, I don't know, I would call it weak wood. This thing looks a little more hardwood centric than some of the stuff we've been finding in the creek bottom. Back in and get this one if I can. Oops. I thought I would be able to handle that, but no. Now, one thing we notice up here on this side, oh, by the way, notice that when I start the tractor, I'm wide open throttle. That's not intentional. I told you earlier, it may have been last episode, I'm not sure, but I broke the throttle cable. So I'm doing everything wide open throttle, including starting the PTO. Because I've got a chunk of wood.
Strategically placed.
Strategically placed, that's right, Randall.
Just happened to have some chips of wood that...
We had several different sizes to choose from.
Yeah.
And I was afraid it would fall out, so it's not like I'm getting out, taking it out, and putting it back in, because I thought it would fall out. But it's getting the job done.
That mulcher really does throw things up under the tractor.
Does it? Even with the chain. I thought that the chain in the front was helping a lot.
It's helping, but there's still stuff going in there.
So this is not the best tool for this one. A front-mounted mulcher on a skid steer would be a much better solution, but it also costs a lot more money. Now the underbrush here was a lot heavier, just 100 feet or 200 feet back, but this kind of shows you what we're able to do in the creek bottom.
That thing's doing a really nice job down here in the autumn, making our field a lot nicer to drive on than stuff sticking up. cuts
Yeah,
the
it really doesn't.
ground nice.
It doesn't leave anything sticking out, does it?
No, and well, the pieces that it leaves are small enough they're not going to hurt underneath the tractor, I don't think.
Need a grapple back here.
You got a grapple.
You know what I'm going to do for you saying that? I'm going to knock this tree down right in front of you.
Just don't knock it on me. Okay.
Just going along the top of this river cut, this old river channel, the limbs that are hanging out over the field, I'm trying to get those knocked down so the tractors can come in here without scratching the cabs up on them. What Tim's doing in the flat bottom, I'm trying to get the sides of the slope, which this excavator probably works a little better, I did.
Yeah, we get gets pretty steep for us on the tractor on the sides.
You can reach way higher than anybody else here.
Right. That just means they can fall a little bit further on my cab if I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, squeezer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you got that on video.
You got a lot of it.
I missed this top over here, though. I think I better reload. I'll probably end up with a smaller load than what I did.
I don't think so. Yep. Those are up. See what you got.
Go with that. Hope that'll work. Hopefully I get some of it out there.
Some of it's so brittle.
Yeah. Well, it's old and dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Timber. Goodness. Should go up some more. I'm going to push him back, and then I'm going to grind that stump off a little bit.
Muddy right here.
Oh, you're sinking your front tires in.
Yeah, maybe so.
Just gonna go all the way up.
Well, I'm getting up here and sealing some of it. That's
Thunder, aren't you?
yeah. This tractor's doing pretty good though with these tires. I like these ag tires.
Your turf tires would already be spinning. Come on back, I think.
I'm back as far as I can go. I can't
Oh, it's
turn around and push it over.
It's hollow at the bottom, so I think you can push it over. There you go. You got it. Yeah, you've buried your front end.
Couldn't figure out why I couldn't go backwards anymore. Well, I may be done. I don't know. Will it come back up on top? You done.
Just keep driving back down in it. Worst thing you can do is pull yourself through with your grapple.
There you
Come
go.
back, front end's up on top, but can I get the back end through that?
No, don't. You're gonna have to get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Not sure I can now.
Use your grapple to pull you through if you need to.
That was a lot deeper in there than I thought.
Yeah.
That's how you tore up your hoses yesterday. You were looking backwards and not looking forward. And
Probably.
I was looking backwards when I was sawing and not looking forward for how deep my front end was.
my headset's beat.
Clint can't quite reach it.
No, I got it off my blade now.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and push it down, get it off.
Be great. I'll stay up here out of the way.
Okay, you're hooked. I'm gonna let you dead pull me.
You've got parts laying back here too.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Where's
I'm glad
that
you
from?
saw that. That's my drawbar.
Yeah.
Boy, that's lucky we even found it. That's
chipped
pretty
on
good
it.
on some mulcher tooth, isn't it?
You chipped it twice.
It's just too rough on it. And I didn't even see anything. See what I mean?
I was just walking around looking at that cylinder and
Glad you. There's no way we'll find the pin. Yeah, see, I can't turn my wheel, so.
Maybe you need to let your grapple down on the chain and pick your front end up. Carry
I think the wheels are slowly turning.
It's trying.
You're gonna break a tie rod.
No, I think we're turning it a little bit.
You've got a stump coming up here, though, as you come up this
guys,
little...
you're gonna break something.
I can pick it up.
That might help us turn them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be better if you could.
Back up a little, Tom.
Well, them ain't
You're
giving.
gonna have to help us steer, I think.
Oh, I ain't got nothing, Randall. I ain't got a hose.
But you got the other hose still fastened. don't you?
Try it if you can.
you're just spraying fluid out. You do
Yeah.
that.
Just keep your loader pressure on that chain and let Dad pick up your front end.
Okay.
Should I turn around and pick him up with my grapple?
Probably not any easier than this.
I think you're doing good right
Raise
there.
up your 3-point a little more, Dad.
Right at the stump now.
Yeah.
But you're gonna miss the stump with the front wheel. The back wheel may ride over it.
That won't hurt anything if it does. Watch your door being open.
I
think we better turn around and, well, let me get on up out of the hole here. Go a little farther. We can turn. I need to
turn
turn
a little
around and
bit,
pick him
Tom.
up.
You're headed toward the wood pile.
I'm not worried. The wood pile, I'm good, but I need to turn around. As soon as you get where you're not going to roll. I like that a lot better.
I do too.
I do too. I think if you just go out backwards there a little further, we can work on it out there, can't we?
Yeah, that's my plan.
One tire's off the ground, one tire's not.
That's all right.
It's not got any weight on it that way.
Okay.
Well, that hose lasted about 2 hours.
And I thought it was relatively protected. I mean, that 3-point, it's just that stuff being thrown up under the tractor, I guess. And it must have been the same piece that tore off the drawbar, because it was right there.
Did it tear up this end where we had put it on there this morning?
It tore up the fitting that we connected it to.
Well, at least it didn't break the cylinder.
At least it didn't break the cylinder. At least it didn't break the hose.
So I'm now off to the John Deere dealer to buy that elbow. And this provides an interesting story of its own. It's just a small hydraulic fitting. I really didn't expect any issue at all finding the part, so didn't make any calls or anything, just headed to the local John Deere dealer, trying to get back to work as quickly as possible. After all, the days are short this time of year. And it's always fun to visit Chuck, the parts guy at the local SN Partners John Deere dealer. Chuck's a big Tractor Time with Tim fan. In fact, wish I'd had video because he was wearing a TTWT hat when I went into the store. Unfortunately, when I got there, I found out that this little elbow has a unique metric port thread, and I was disappointed to learn that they did not have one in stock. That was the bad news. The good news is their system showed that another local dealer had the part in stock. It was about an hour away, so I was on the road again. But before I left, I asked Chuck to make me another steering hose just in case. Oh, and that little elbow? More than $25. Now, while some of the close-up views do a great job of showing the equipment, it's kind of hard to see how much progress we've made. But here's a trip through the old river channel, seeing what we have done. Now, remember, we're expecting a logger to come through and cut these larger trees. It was not our plan to do all the work with compact tractors and a mini excavator. Rather, he was going to do the cutting, and we were just going to do kind of cleanup and keep the brush away from him. Unfortunately, there were some serious health issues in his family, as we mentioned in the prior episode. So we're just getting what we can while we have time. With this underbrush cleared out, we think that with his logging rig, he could come right in here, and it wouldn't take us long to get the rest of this removed. We got quite a long way cleaned up. There's 1.8 miles of this old river channel in this 160-acre field. At least 1.8 miles is what Randall measured with an aerial tool that he had, just kind of following the winding nature of this old river channel. Just a reminder, this is a wetland. We're not allowed to cut out any stumps, but we are allowed to cut it at ground level per the law. So our objective is to get it where we can mow it. Now, this area here shows where we started, and we actually did some sawing with a chainsaw and got this a little bit more cleared up. We still left a few here. On the left end is a really difficult to cut tree, and on the right are some really big, nice oaks that can be made into logs, sellable timber. Randall conned one of his friends and ag salespeople to come out and run the saw for a while, and I ran the saw for a while myself, but unfortunately we got tired before we ran out of timber. Would have been nice to have got at least one area totally cleared off so we could mow it, but, well, maybe there'll be more time.
Okay, I should be able to get in there and get him picked up, I think, Randall.
All right, I'll get on. I tell you what, that kind of slope right there would have made you pucker in this thing before we set the fields out.
Uh-huh.
This really made this tractor feel a little bit different.
Good.
Doesn't look so bad now, does it?
Well, it still looks horrible, but it's definitely functional. Getting that one more on in there, not gonna, there between you and Dad won't help you clean it, will it? That one right there in front of you?
If you get back in there and clip it off, I don't know if you can get back in there. That gets kind of...
Oh, come on. Watch him, Dad.
Oh, it's all right. You're good.
Bank here that's I'm not used to the track equipment rockage like this,
Yeah,
and that's what messing with my head.
yeah. It messes with my head when I see it do it from outside.
Yeah, it just keeps getting worse right now instead of better.
I think Clint's used to that. It didn't seem to bother him.
No, he's used to track equipment. I mean, that's all he did before he helped Kent. Okay, now this makes me feel like I'm really rocked
Forward.
forward. Does it look like I'm really rocked forward?
Well, yeah.
I want to move.
Put it down as much as you can so that your center of gravity is lower. There you go.
That makes me feel better. All right. the seat turning with the machine is a completely different concept. Because you got to remember, the 580 is about all I'm used to.
Right, okay.
Well, Clint, it's your first Tractor Time with Tim project, and we may have chosen just a wee bit too big of a project.
Maybe for the equipment size, but I think we got along real well for what we was doing.
We, if it means you, we got along really good.
Okay,
Clint was the only one of us that didn't tear up anything, I think.
well, that might be a fair statement.
I think I set the record here. I kind of like to stop keeping track of how many things I broke. But since we last spoke, I broke 2 more steering hoses, and the hood got, what shape was that hood, would you say? I need a Tomism for that.
Well, it may take more than that.
Sounded like it was
'Cause
weehawed.
It was a
Is that the name?
weehawed, yeah.
It was at least weehawed, or it was,
Weehawed.
so I don't know, we got something stuck up under the hood and we couldn't get it open. I said its nose was twisted out of joint, but I think based on that, I think I've just about decided that in some of this heavier stuff, and we were in the mud, so any ground clearance we have with this 3 Series, we were down about 2 or 3 inches, right? Even losing some of that. I just can't do it.
Well, we'll find something else that works.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find something bigger. We always talk about testing the limits, right? Well,
We were trying.
we've tested my limits. I think we've made 3 or 4 trips to the John Deere dealer, and
SNP would be pretty proud of you.
yeah, this one's sponsored by SN Partners, whether they know it or not.
We really appreciate what they did for us, I can tell you.
We're going to be back with the logger. We'll regroup on the tractors and equipment. Meanwhile, it's just about to rain here, so I think we're done for the week anyway. We're all tired. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We'll have another episode where we're fixing up Old Salty. We've got a lot of damage. I'll detail all of that in that later episode. And meanwhile, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak.